Hi, Bitsie. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. To start, I wanted to ask, because you prior to Rachel were our kind of last new Lois. So you knew what the pass off between the previous Lois to the new Lois was like. How is it now going into the release of Superman and getting to see the other side of it and what it was like, what it's like now to pass the title on?
Well, I kind of felt like I passed the title on when we finished filming last year, because it was over for me. And then certainly when the series finale aired in December. But it is interesting because I feel like people are sort of discovering the show right now, probably in anticipation of the movie coming out. But it's not like I ever went into this job thinking, oh, I'm going to be the last Lois Lane who's ever played Lois Lane. I knew it was going to be one of, a group of amazing actresses who've all had the pleasure of playing this iconic character. And I didn't think it was going to end as fast as it did, but I haven't seen Rachel Brosnahan's work, but I'm really excited to, and I heard she's an amazing actress. And I also am just like so excited for this Milkbone screening because there's going to be over 40 doggies there. And we rescued a dog in March. He's asleep on my lap. He's a five and a half month old pug. So Marvin's going with me. And also he loves Milkbone too, so that kind of worked out well for everyone. I'm sure there will be lots of treats for him at the premiere and little Superman capes, but I think it's gonna be very fun watching the movie with 40 dogs.
Well, especially this movie, because I know you said you haven't seen it yet, but like Krypto was my favorite part. Like I
That's
interviewed
what I've read. That's what I've seen on social media. People love Krypto.
when I interviewed James Gunn, I told him I was like, I know Krypto is not the best and he's a bad boy, but no, he's not. He's a perfect dog. And so going into that, bringing your own very sweet, sweet pup, are you excited? It feels weird to ask this, but are you excited to see how your dog reacts to Krypto?
Kind of, yeah, because I also, my husband doesn't always go with me to events. We have a daughter and sometimes it's hard to find childcare. But I was like, I can't handle this without you. Like, because he's a puppy and he's not fully potty trained yet. I'm like, you have to go. Like, you have to be Marvin's handler at this. And so David's gonna come with me. But yeah, I'm curious. I was saying in one of the other interviews, our last dog, who was a Frenchie, did not watch TV.
Mm.
Marvin totally watches and he gets into it. So I'm curious how he reacts to. I'm sure there's going to be dogs there who, when they see Krypto on screen, start barking or get all excited. I think Marvin's mostly just going to be excited to see other doggies because he is still so young. He kind of
Yeah.
just finished his last rabies vaccine and leptospirosis and everything like a couple weeks ago. So he's mainly been confined to our house and our yard. It's only now that he's in the last few weeks he's been able to go for walks and meet other dogs. So I think he's mainly gonna be very hard to get him to sit still.
I
Yeah.
like it. I was like, you were like, I also have a child because I was like, it kind of feels weird being like, it's kind of like when you would show your child a movie, like, are you excited for your
Yeah.
dog to see it? Well, and you said you're excited to partner with Milkbone for this. Is it fun as an actor getting to like pair with something that is related to your work, but is also you're kind of removed from it and you just get to go and have fun and do this event. And it's not also okay, well, what is everyone going to say about my movie or my show after you get to just enjoy it yourself?
It's pretty fun. And also, I don't do I have a shop my I don't know if you do that.
Mm.
And all of any commissions that I earn, I donate to Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City. And I've made it really clear on things like Shop My or when people do gifting or want to do a collaboration that if I don't believe in the brand, I'm not doing it. I'm never going to try to sell to anyone something that I haven't tried or that I don't believe in. But Marvin loves Milkbone treats, and obviously he's in training right now being a puppy. And so that kind of worked out well. I'm like, oh, well, thank goodness that I can actually say he loves these treats. And, the company's been around since 1908. Like when you think of dog treats, you kind of think of Milkbone. And I know that Krypto is a big part of this movie, or so I've heard. So I think this screening's gonna be really fun.
Oh, he is. And they had puppies at the press junket. And I was like, oh, I cannot take one of these home. I can't.
Have a little bridesmaids moment.
Yeah, I was like, no, no, no,
When
no.
Melissa McCarthy has like 9 of the golden retriever puppies. Yeah.
It's me holding the puppies. One, I wanted to ask you too. One thing that I love about the new Superman is Lois is still a loud girl, because as much as she is a journalist, as much as it like represents the brunette journalists in us all, she's also loud and is not afraid to be loud and says what she thinks. And that's something that is just, in every version, that's who she is. How was it when you were playing Lois, getting to bring that part of her to life? Because I feel like that would just be the most fun, to just be that woman.
Yeah, I think the one thing, that really embodies who's Lois Lane is a lot of it is that feistiness, that determination. She's not afraid, even in situations where maybe she should be afraid. She's fearless, and she's determined to get the truth out. And I loved playing a character who, when she was introduced in 1938 along with Superman, she was very much a working woman, and she was determined and take no prisoners. And that was a time in history when a lot of women were portrayed as more demure. And I think Lois Lane has part of the reason she's been so iconic, and people like the character so much, and also like them together. Obviously, this is like a very famous on screen and
Yeah.
off screen, like in comic books and everything. But Lois and Clark are a very famous romantic couple. They have great chemistry. I think that's really important. But yeah, just that determination and that self-confidence, I think any actress who plays Lois Lane should be bringing to the role.
Yeah. And that's why I love her. That's just who Lois
Yeah.
is. And it's great. When I wanted to ask, you do have this beautiful puppy you're bringing. Have you tried to put him in a cape yet? Because there are certain animals that they're not fans of it.
Well, we're gonna find out on Thursday. I think that'll part of be part of the fun of Marvin's getting groomed for the first time. So a lot of firsts for him on Thursday. This will be his first red carpet. I was just saying I typically don't bring David to step days, but I was like, I can't handle him on my own. Like, what if he pees in the middle of the screening? He's still a baby. He's not fully potty trained. And so David's coming with me to basically be Marvin's handler.
You
But
could
yeah,
put
we're getting little capes for them. And I had asked him because I was gonna order one, and then but yeah, all the doggies are getting little capes, which should be very cute.
you could put him just in the red little diapers. But for my last question, with doing something special like this, and it is a little bit more fun and lighthearted, which is a lot of what Superman and Lois was like. How excited are you to see what I deem is a lighter and more fun take on Superman, just because it is a little bit more hopeful?
I mean, I've been very clear. This is actually this will be my second time I've seen anything Superman, other than my show. I had years ago, I'd seen the first Donner film with Reeve and Kidder. And then when I got cast, I purposely tried to avoid anyone else's iteration of it. And I said I'm not going to watch anything until I'm done with the show, because I didn't want it to sort of influence my portrayal of Lois. So part of it, the excitement is just seeing another Superman on screen. I know I've just read, being active on social media, I know some people are really opinionated about the dark versions of Superman versus the
Yes.
sort of lighter, hopeful ones. And I just believe that James Gunn probably really gets it. I know he's a huge Superman fan. So is Peter Safran. I know Peter, and he has outside of his office on the Warner Brothers lot, he has one of the suits from the Donner film, which is really cool. So it's, they clearly love the IP as much as the fans do, and I think this is going to be really exciting.
Well, I can't wait for everyone to get to see it. I can't wait for the dogs to get to meet Krypto. And thank you so much for talking with me. I
Yeah,
really
thank you.
appreciate it.